So we are online.
And here we go. Let's check out if it's all right.
13 seconds before hour.
We'll see if we look beautiful.
Well, you don't, but I always do.
Yeah.
Are you jealous of my t-shirt?
La seule chose que je ferais peut-être si pour toi
For me?
would be to be maybe a little closer here. See your. Oh ben, je sais pas. C'est peut-être moi qui est pas à l'intérieur. Anyways, hello. I'm speaking French. Yes, I am. And let's just.
French isn't that some incomprehensible dead language?
Yes, it is this weird language that nobody speaks. So hello everybody, welcome to the From the Couch episode number 7, and we are Thursday, February 23rd, 2017. So this is episode 7 already. This show is every Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2100 hours Universal Time, which is 9 p.m. in the UK. And we talk about the last week's gaming news and also tech news. And so we got some stuff, and you better get ready because we're gonna talk a lot about tech. Hello everybody in the chat room, nice to have all of you on board.
Good day everyone.
And, the cat is here to start the show, so we'll start with Paul has his own tech news this week. So meow, there, he said his tech news for the week. Okay, hi Gabriel.
Hi Jill.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Not bad. Me and Gabriel had a little bit of drinks yesterday.
Yeah.
We went to the bar and sang a few songs at the karaoke.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I don't feel that much about drinking beer today.
Yeah, I'm not that. I think you know what?
We've got some, but I don't think we'll go through the 6-pack.
We drank 12 beers yesterday.
Yeah.
12 beers plus
a few shooters.
3 or 4 shooters.
At least.
So, all of that. But, I'm feeling okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little tired because actually what I did is from midnight till 2 a.m. I went and got Pokemons. And at 2 a.m. I started feeling cold, but it's rather warm here. It's amazing. The temperature is really, really amazing.
For February,
it's
I believe it's 11 degrees outside Celsius.
Yep, 11 Celsius. So pretty cool to have everybody on board. So hey, we're gonna start the news, and of course we'll go to the chat room a little later on. We also have a little something special today. Gabriel has his. This is what, the February or March?
February loot crate.
February loot crate. We'll do an unboxing
live later
and
during the show.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. So hey, you want to start with your news or?
I believe it's your turn.
It's my turn this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
So the first news, Microsoft did confirm that we will have a second update to Windows 10 this year. Of course, that's not new news, but the fact that they confirmed that it's going to happen is interesting because Microsoft has this habit of always, being late. Creators Update was supposed to be in February, then March, and now it's April. So, of course, you're wondering, okay, but if you wanted to have the next version in October, November, doesn't that mean you're kind of late? It seems that no, and today actually I had another article, and it's tech journalist Mary Jo Foley that actually talked about it today. Apparently, if you're an insider, we get the builds for Creators Update, which will be in April. But internally at Microsoft, they already have builds of what they call Redstone 3. And Redstone 3 is that update in October or November that will have some kind of name eventually. So it means that they're really in high gear. And actually what I was thinking when I saw the post is, okay, when Creators Update gets out, I think we're going to get new builds of that Redstone 3 quite fast if you're an insider. So I think they're putting it in high gear and they really want to do something about it. And but there's some stuff that's gonna that are missed. They did the when they did their presentation last time, they really talked a lot about messaging everywhere and the people app, meaning that everything and all your friends and everything will be interconnected with Windows. And it's gonna, they were saying, oh, this is gonna be a great thing for the creators update, but it's not gonna be in the creators update because last month they said, well, it won't be ready. So that will be ready probably for October, November. And so it's interesting. We're seeing how Windows 10 evolves. And you personally, you like Windows 10?
I really like Windows 10, honestly. Never had any trouble with it.
What versions of Windows you tried in your life? You had Windows XP, I think.
XP, of course.
Windows 7?
I tried Vista for a little while. Okay. 7, 8, 8.1, and 10.
Okay. And do you like 10 better than everything in the past, or?
I cannot really say. For what I'm doing, whether it's 10, 7, or even XP, it did what I had to do. It had to do. Windows 8 was nice for the tablet format because I had the first Surface Pro. Okay. And it was Windows 8 at first, and when you arrive, it's all those tiles. And for a touch screen, that was amazing. That was really cool.
Well, Windows 8, I gotta say, for like on Surface tablet, Windows 8 8.1 was probably great on that device.
What they did with Windows 10, there is a tablet mode for Windows 10, but I don't put it on because no matter what I do, it brings me to the desktop anyway. Yeah. So it doesn't serve any purpose to have a tablet mode.
That's
if you just go to the desktop.
That's one thing that I would say maybe I find more interesting of Windows 8. I think if you have a touch device, Windows 8 was actually better with the touch than Windows 10 is. It's not Windows 10 is not bad, but
no.
They they should have kept the same experience of Windows 8.
Because with Windows 8, when I would open, let's say, Edge or anything that could be installed as tiles, it would stay in tablet mode. Yeah. So I would have Edge, Microsoft Edge, in tablet mode.
Well, Internet Explorer, because there was no Edge.
It was Explorer. 8. Yeah. And if I decided to go on the desktop and open Explorer, then I would have Internet in desktop mode. Yeah. There would really be two versions depending on how I was using it. Yeah. Now it is only the desktop option, even if I put it in tablet mode.
I wonder why. You know what? You're making me think of why.
You see, if I have a tablet mode right here.
Yeah.
And let's say okay.
Yeah, it brings you back to.
Yeah, it brings me back to the desktop. Anyway.
I don't know why they didn't do. As they're doing a new browser, why didn't they do Edge as an app?
They should have.
Instead of a desktop program like Explorer, kind of weird. That's where you see Microsoft is not always equal in what they're doing, and I think it goes back to the fact that what we were saying a few days or I don't know when last time.
Yesterday.
Nobody at Microsoft, tons of people don't talk to each other. And it's creating a major issue because there's all these different portions of Microsoft that hate each other, and I think that's why it does things like that. Because one team says, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and that's it, and you're going to do that, and that's it, and who cares? So, anyways, Windows 10 continuing, and I get that question all the time. Yes, it's still free. There's no, there's no plans at all. A lot of people are always telling me, yeah, but eventually we'll have to pay something. And Microsoft, yes, for the business side, but that's always been the case because their money in Windows really comes from businesses much more than anything else. Yeah. But for the consumer side, no, it's free, and there's no plan about the fact that. They would charge us for anything. They did say, and I believe they're still in. Well, they said it was going to be free and it would stay free, and that's it. So I think pretty cool. And of course, as an insider, I just can't wait to start getting the builds of the next version of Windows. And talking of builds, just out of curiosity, we haven't had a new build of Windows in the past 2 weeks. Donna Sarkar says that the build that there is right now is not of a good enough quality. But I would not be surprised that tomorrow we'll have one of those rare insider builds Fridays. So I wouldn't be surprised that tomorrow we might get one. But I also wouldn't be surprised that we don't have one this week. And actually, Paul Thurrott, talking about that, said, I think the fact that now the builds are more spaced out, they're farther apart, means that they're just working on bug fixes now, and we're almost to the official version of Creators Update. So that's going to be interesting to see. So what about you?
Well, do you sometimes take a Uber taxi or
I've
taxi?
never taken an Uber.
Yeah,
never.
I'm sure of it. Well, in Arizona, apparently, self-driving cars, they've been on prototypes all around the globe recently. And Uber is going to have a fleet of self-driving cars.
Okay.
And really, they have all the rights to do it in Arizona. They tried in California before. And because of some flaws in the law, they could not go through with it.
Okay.
But I thought it was interesting. That's cool. I mean, in Arizona for now, and maybe elsewhere in the world later, the car themselves are the what is it? It's the Volvo XC90.
Okay.
And having a taxi or something like this that drives itself for you, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I believe this would, how many times have you taken a taxi and the driver was just so bad or the car was dirty and you were like, why am I paying for this?
Yeah.
I think something that could change this,
I think this is the start of something that, I remember when I was young, we already were talking about how robots and computers would take over our jobs and everything. But it didn't, do it. Well, it did. There are some robotics that, yes, will mean...
When you watch how it's made, have you ever seen a human?
Yeah, the end that takes the box. So, there are less jobs, yes, that's already started. But I think now we're getting into high gear. I hate CNET. It always talks somewhere.
Yeah.
So, basically, I think now we're getting into high gear of, okay, now really, we are starting to see which jobs are going away. And taxi drivers, I think, are now, and here they're
on the hot seat. They're on the hot seat.
Here the taxi drivers were going crazy because of Uber, but you know what? Maybe it's not Uber that you should be scared about.
No.
Maybe it's self-driving cars, because if Uber does it, why wouldn't all the other taxi companies do it? So
costs less money to have a self-driving car than to pay a driver.
And the self-driving car works 24 hours a day.
And it doesn't have any accident.
It's pretty much shown that it's a better driver than many humans. And talking about that, I almost got run over by a car half an hour ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Just at the end of the street here, this lady was turning to her left. And I don't know what the hell she was looking at, but I was walking across the street, and I was probably this close to her car, and now she stopped, and actually, she yelled at me, telling me, get out of the street. What? Want me to call the cops or something? I'll have a show. I don't have time to wait. You're lucky. I don't have time to wait. I have a show to do. But anyways, man, it's...
So yeah, I believe self-driving cars. I thought it was interesting to know that Uber is really coming with this.
Yeah.
And for now, it's only in Arizona, but I have no trouble seeing it everywhere in the world soon enough.
Okay.
If they can get the permits and go through every.
I think it's, one of the major issues here is that there is need for regulation. So there is really some need, first of all, to have the regulations because there'll have to be some. And after the regulations come through, though, nothing will prevent them from having, that's going to be kind of weird sitting in the back seat of a driverless car.
Yeah. Well, for now, I believe there still is someone in the passenger seat just in case something happens.
Yeah.
But still, the car is driving itself.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well, I think eventually, that it's really in the test mode, but I think eventually.
In the world of tomorrow.
In the world of tomorrow, we will have self-driving cars with nobody else except
Siri.
Yeah, or some kind of artificial intelligence that's going to be creepy and says, "Hello, Gabriel. Welcome to the Uber taxi."
Gonna be Terminator. He's gonna offer you how do you want to die.
Even more creepy if they decide to put some kind of interaction of the self-driving car talking to you while you're going on your run. At least you'll be able to say, "Hey, shut up." Okay. Anything else to add on that?
Not really.
Not really. European Union is really a pain in the butt, with Microsoft and all the big tech companies. Do you change anything in your privacy settings in Windows 10? Is there something that scares you?
Nothing that scares me. Though when I saw, all of the fuzz about how the privacy settings were not turned on and everything, I did check my options and what was going on. But it doesn't bother me that much, knowing that Google is probably spying on me way more than my tablet.
Yeah.
Than my tablet. So
it's funny because I get rantings from a lot of people about privacy in Windows 10 and how Microsoft spies on us. And maybe I'm a fool, but I am the guy that thinks that Microsoft, it's all for the data just to see if Windows operates well, and they take that data and what we do, and they're able to simply readjust Windows and fix it thanks to the telemetry that they get from all of the different things that they see here. So European Union is not happy with the fact that when the creators update arrives, we'll have a new privacy panel. Mm-hmm. That privacy panel is pretty much doing the same thing as what's happening right now. And welcome, Jerry. Nice to have you here. And so you know what I think Microsoft is not using any of that data. Anyways, one of the logical things that I have is when somebody tells me, "Oh yeah, they're spying on what we're doing." Okay, 400 million Windows 10 PCs. They're gonna look at what we do with our computer. There's no logic in that because first of all, I don't care. I'm not doing anything that If you want to see my OneNote because we're doing our show, who cares?
And even if you did do something borderline, there's so many Windows computers, it's hard to pinpoint one exactly where it comes from.
And that telemetry they're sending out is anonymous also. It's they can't say it's you. Like what they see from my machine, they can't say it's me. It's totally anonymized at the other end. The only thing that I know they could see is if you leave, for example, in the data, the telemetry, if you leave it at maximum telemetry, they take RAM memory dumps. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, yeah, they could probably see in there some stuff that we do. But even though, I don't believe that they would use that information. So, anyways, the European Union wants Microsoft to totally change and rewrite and do a new panel that is clearer and that wants to, you know, to make sure that people understand that, they're taking a lot of data and so on. And what's sad is that it will put in the mind of European users that Microsoft is bad in its spying. Because, come on, say you're the average user. You see this news, European Union says that Microsoft takes too much data. What, in the mind of everybody, it's, Microsoft's spying on us on our Windows machines. That's what people think.
God.
And it's sad because the way they're doing it, that's what a lot of Europeans will think. And I get at least 3 or 4 messages a week of, "Oh, you're lying. They are spying on us, and they are removing pirated games, and they don't care. They care, yes, of course, but I mean, they're not gonna erase a pirated game or anything."
Anyway, nowadays, if you don't want to be spied on by anyone, anywhere, or anything, go in a deserted island or in a cabin in the woods somewhere in the great north of Alaska, and with a tin foil over your head.
Then we'll have reports of UFOs in Alaska. There's aliens in Alaska. But you know what? If you're worried about all of that, what's funny, and you know what? That comment I didn't think about, but that comment was very interesting. When I was watching Windows Weekly yesterday, Leo Laporte said, "Okay, Microsoft said we're gonna take the same privacy settings that are on phones and put them in Windows." And then you start thinking about it, and you're like, that thing. I think I'm more scared of this than using Windows 10.
Probably.
I don't know. There's not a lot of that in iOS, but
No.
on Android, you should see this. You install an app, and it starts displaying, this app wants your contact list. This app wants your to have the possibility to use your phone. And not you're like, an app wants to call me or what? What is that? And you look at all of that, and it's like, really? Why do you want all of that?
Why does the Weather Channel needs my contacts?
Yeah. Well, because they sell it.
Yeah.
They sell it.
They want to know where I am? Okay, but why do they need my contact number?
When I have a privacy issue, use Facebook. I think that's way worse than using Windows. I don't know, but anyways, I think European Union is incredible because they are always bashing. They have a multi-billion-dollar case against Google, saying that because Google dominates ads on the internet and everything, that nobody else can do anything about it, and that they're using their strength to block everybody else. And I don't know up to what if I had a really big company that would do something. Actually, I have a small company, and I just look at the way I deal with my small company. And maybe I'm close to the anti-competitiveness sometimes in things that I do that you've probably already seen a few times.
Or heard.
But I think, it's a hard world, and the only way to really advance and do something, you have to, look at when they made Microsoft pay, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars because Internet Explorer was in Windows, and that they said, that's it's a problem because that means nobody else will be able to have his browser in Windows. Well, I'm sorry, but Google Chrome is 58%. Internet Explorer is 25%. Really? There was a problem with competitively
No.
with Internet Explorer? I don't see it. I see Google now is dominating.
Yeah.
So, I think we do need regulations and things need to be a little, needs to be ruled, but still.
And somehow, if it wasn't from all these data that they are collecting, they could not, up to some point, upgrade the product.
No.
They take these data to upgrade the products to what the consumer expects.
Yeah. And, they look at what you're doing without, once again, knowing that it's you.
Yeah.
They look at the error messages that your computer might generate, because even when your computer doesn't crash, your computer does crash internally at certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't see it. And, they get all that data and they try to fix it and make it better. Anyways, my privacy settings in Windows 10 are all at, the default level that Microsoft wants you to have. And I personally have absolutely no problem with that. Okay? If someday somebody tells me, I'm more afraid of Facebook, Facebook selling my information. I mean, Facebook, they're making what? Something like $28 for every user.
Oh my God!
Just with the information they have about us, they're making $28 per user.
Oh my God!
Okay, that's not counting the ads that they have and everything. Anyway,
you can even buy Facebook gift cards. I saw it at the store.
Facebook gift cards.
Yeah, to play games.
Okay.
If you don't have enough money to play Farmville.
Oh man. Farmville. Yeah. I know a few people that spend thousands of dollars for that game.
Oh.
Buying a fence and buying sheep and I don't know.
My farm's gonna be ready before yours.
Man, and you know what? Anyways, I don't know. Buy a farm if you want to do it that way. I'm gonna tell you what. So hey. So we'll be in the chat room, and if you guys have questions, by the way, we'll answer all of that when we get to the chat room. And if you have questions, keep the questions for that period a little later on our show. So, what else do you have in your news?
Well, in 2 weeks, the Nintendo Switch is officially launching on March 3rd.
I haven't heard about that.
No, nobody heard about it. We learn more and more and more about it every day. I believe that some journalists already received it, so they can try it a little.
Oh yeah, there's a guy that. That's what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I want to start talking about the guy who had it last week. He had pre-ordered the console and received it 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, that's cool. But apparently,
it turns out
it was a stolen console.
Yeah.
But Nintendo said that it's an isolated case. A retailer in the US bought a batch of consoles and someone stole it, shipped it to the guy. The person who committed the crime has been fired from his job. He was identified and now could be facing criminal charges.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who did the video, actually, he didn't know it was stolen, and he returned the console to Nintendo afterward.
Okay.
So, it was alright.
Okay.
So, but we did have this video of the user interface, which brought us some interesting stuff.
Well,
especially the fact that, the Nintendo, it will come with a 32 gigabyte hard drive. But if you remove the software, you only have 25 left.
Yeah.
So, the micro SD card is kind of a hidden cost that you will have to buy if you want to purchase all your games online.
I saw
we saw the size of the games if you buy them online.
I saw a post, I don't know if NeoWin, I think maybe, or Tech Radar, and the title of the post was, if you're going to buy a Nintendo Switch, better have two memory cards instead of just one.
Yes, because when you look at it, just the size of the games We know a few. The Legend of Zelda will be a bit over 13 gigabytes, and you have 25.
Okay.
But that's only if you purchase the games online. If you buy them in physical, you will have a cartridge, and there's no installation required.
Okay.
But if you buy your games online,
So it's almost
Zelda 13 gigabyte, Mario Kart 8 gigabyte, Dragon Quest Hero 1 and 2 32 gigabytes,
okay.
and so on. So if you want to buy your games online, you need extra memory.
Okay.
Otherwise, just the cartridges. If you buy your game at your retailer store, it doesn't require installation. Only the space for your save games.
Okay.
And save games doesn't take much space. Barely any.
Okay.
We also saw this week the size of the cartridges.
Okay.
And they are really tiny.
Yeah, I would guess so. They could be just.
Well, that it's kind of.
They could be the size and even smaller than a USB thumb drive.
It's between the size of your regular SD card and micro SD, somewhere in between.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But something that is really strange is that the cartridge are this big, but the case of the game is as big as any regular game case.
Yeah.
For this little tiny chip inside. So
it's like buying a micro SD card in a package that's this big.
Yes.
It's just the visible part of trying to get our attention, basically.
Yes. What else did we learn about the Switch? Oh yeah, you will have to set yourself a Nintendo ID account, which is basically, there's the Nintendo regular account on the Nintendo website, the Nintendo Network account, but now you have to create an ID, another ID.
I believe I read an article that said it was kind of really complicated.
Yeah, creating it's easy. You log into your Nintendo Network account, and there's this section in the user info, just says set an ID and so on. But I don't understand why they do this. They could just take your network ID and said, that we're gonna stay at that.
They could have just one account for everything.
One account for everything.
It's like Xbox account is for everything.
And of course, the same username cannot be used twice. So of course, Mario, Zelda, and Princess Peach are already taken.
I would guess they're easy ones. Well, I'm Rabbit Bunny 00724.
What happened to all the other Rabbit Bunnies before?
I don't know. They were lost in time in some gaming world somewhere.
And finally, we also learned, that the games, when you buy them online, instead of being tied to a console, like it was the case with the Wii and the Wii U, they will be tied to your account. So it means that if you change consoles, you still can download the game with it. It's not tied to one hardware console.
Okay.
But Nintendo did say that it won't be possible to download the game on another console if you're still logged in on your primary console.
Okay.
So, for example, if you buy two Nintendo Switch, for your kids, one for the home and one for the when you go on vacation, you have to make sure that you're logged out because you won't be able to download the game elsewhere. At least that's my interpretation of the thing.
Okay.
It's really, really vague how it works. I understand that you cannot be
better buying the game on the memory card.
I understand that. Not being connected with the same account at two places at once, I understand that. But the fact that you will not be able to download the games on two consoles, like the games would not be tied to the consoles, but to your username itself.
But
it's kind of weird, but basically they kind of say that.
I would understand that it's probably you have a game. It's tied to your username. You install it, so it logs as one install, and if you want a second install, they want you to buy it again.
I don't know.
Is that what basically you're saying?
They didn't say much more about it. It's kind of vague, but they kind of mean that you cannot download your games on all the consoles you want.
Well,
basically that's what they
I
said.
want to understand that for the reason that you could basically go to your friend's house and say, "Hey, I've got Zelda.
Yeah.
You want to play it? I'll install it on your console."
But PlayStation and Xbox allows it in the sense that if I connect on my PS4 with my account, I install a game.
Yeah.
I log out, but my account stays in the console. You know, if I go back to my friend's house, I still have my account I can play with. So
and he can play with the games.
And he can play with the games that I downloaded from my account on his console.
Okay. Well, I think that's the problem. They don't want that to happen with the Switch. They want each console to have the game installed that you paid. Yeah. I would guess that's pretty much what they want to do.
But at least, you know,
they should tie it to an IP address. You know, well, you know why? Because then because let's face it, some crazy people somewhere have 2 or 3 Switches probably, and they could install the game on all of them. But you know, that being tied to the IP means as long as you're in the same internet connection you're using to do your stuff regularly.
That would be fair. But at least, you know, they are evolving. It's not just tied to the console now. It's at least to your username. That's already nice progress.
Okay.
And the last thing, by the way, when the console launch, there will be some available at your local GameStop retailer.
Okay.
Of course, limited quantity, but it's not all for pre-orders. Some will be available in the store at launch.
Okay.
But you better be quick.
Huh. Okay.
Is that it for the Switch? I believe I went around everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
On my side, I have a little bit of HoloLens news. Actually, I knew this before the news happened because I did see it myself. Personally, they are going to jump a generation of HoloLens.
Okay.
So the first one came out, and they started working on the second HoloLens that would be better. But now they're in the mode, well, instead of having something that's a little better, they want something that's really, really much better. So basically, they are not going to release a HoloLens this year or 2018, which would have been number 2. They are going to do it in 2019 and jump directly to HoloLens 3, which will be much, much, much improved compared to the 2. And I think the thing they want to do here is simply say, we want this to be the best thing out there. And for that reason, we'll take more time, but we will have a much more powerful device coming. And I've seen some reports, some of the tech news that I've seen were kind of, you know, some people were kind of saying, oh, well, that's proving that Microsoft is failing on the HoloLens and everything. Actually, it's not. When I look at, and I'm not the only one thinking that, some of the tech journalists that I follow also are thinking that, basically, that no, it's actually, for what it is and for the price that it is, it's actually a hit for Microsoft. But they really want to make sure that it's better.
Okay.
So they're jumping ahead to make sure that it's better.
So they're going to arrive like at E3 2018. Here's HoloLens 3. But what happened to the second?
yeah. It's like, you know.
Oh, no, it's like going from Windows 8 to Windows 10. What happened to Windows 9?
You know, it's like also, you know, Windows 7, which is, well, it's not the 7th version of Windows. Well, you call it Windows 7. It's really not the 7th version of Windows. Anyways, you know, you can't.
Well, you know, the Xbox One, it's not the first Xbox.
No, it's, you know, naming naming stuff. They're probably not going to say HoloLens 3. They're probably going to call it like
The HoloLens.
HoloLens 1.
The new super duper HoloLens version.
So, anyways, they're pushing that date, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what comes out. I've seen a little bit in advance, and I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. There's a huge improvement in one thing, the size of what you're looking through when you are looking. So that, I think, is already going to be something. One of the things also that that HoloLens will be doing, apparently, is you'll be able to have your virtualized yourself outside, and you'll also be able to use a HoloLens and basically have somebody else view through the computer what you are seeing on your
that would be nice.
Headset.
That would be nice.
So
well, I believe
it's pretty cool.
We saw some prototype of this.
Well, some of the demonstrations they did in
we saw the demonstrations when they announced it. There were some of these demonstrations, I believe.
Yeah, but it's going to be even better than that.
Okay.
It's going to really be better.
Anyway, I just want to play Minecraft on my table.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's play 8-bit games.
I'll bring my Lego instead.
So that's the HoloLens news that I got, and it's pretty much where we're at. Before we continue on, do we say hello to the chat room?
Of course.
Hello, chat room.
19 people watching live at the moment.
Halton, Tim Robinson, Patrick Manny, Bobby Burgess, Jerry.
Everybody who's there, say hi.
Say hello if we're missing out on people. Hey, the Prod Geek.
Who's that? Oh, he must be so amazing.
What do we have? Bobby Burgess, Quail 66. Nice to have everybody. 1990 Sunbird. Hello. Nice to have everybody here. Anybody have questions? A little bit of questions, tech questions that we could answer? Halton says Windows 9 equal is in Windows 8.1. Yeah. We could. They could have jumped that number to at number 9. But I don't know. It wasn't different enough, or I don't know. Then again, when you look at Vista and 7, it's pretty much the same thing. And where's Grateful Pearls? Not there today. Hey, Peter Sargent, hello there. Nice to have you here. And I want to be surprised, Tim.
I believe I saw when we began. I believe someone from Denmark was here.
Oh yeah, there was our friend from Denmark.
At the beginning of the chat.
Okay, Esadev, hello there. And from Denmark.
Go down.
Denmark, we had
down. Don't sing.
It's where?
There,
Shervin Abdullah from Denmark. Hello. Missed out here. I did see something I wanted. I'm curious here. What did I see? I don't know. Okay, we're back down. Hey, Jerry. Hello there. Nice to have you on board, by the way. And pretty cool to have everybody here. So the malicious software removal tool. Well, that's a separate download, so that's normal that it was there for February. It is a monthly update, and it's separated from the cumulative updates. And I don't know if you checked, but you had a Flash Player update.
No, I didn't check.
That was available because
people still use Flash.
Yeah, some websites apparently still use Flash.
Oh, it has to be done yet.
Okay. So
after
it's waiting to be done.
Yep.
Okay. So anyways, that's the that one they had to do because it was critical, and a lot of bad guys were already using it to inject bad stuff into people's computers. Because there are people like that do bad things.
There are bad things, bad people on the internet.
Yeah.
No, I thought everybody was good and peaceful and.
You know, when you start your day and the first email that you read from from YouTube channel is You Better Drop Dead, You Moron. It's so much love.
Oh,
So
yes.
much love.
Yes, internet is full of love.
First message that I get. Okay, you want me to drop dead? Okay.
Full
Cool.
of love on the internet. That's why porn sites are top.
Talking of porn sites, one of the news items I had today was that there's a fake Pornhub app for Android going around, and if you install it, you get locked out of your phone.
Oh my god.
And you have to pay, I think it's 2 bitcoins, which is like $1,800 to get your phone back.
Oh my god.
So I imagine the guy that wanted to watch porn on his phone installs that thing, and it's like, I'm locked out of my phone now, and I can't do anything about it. And it blocks everything. You can't have calls. You can't do nothing. Your phone is bricked from the moment you get that thing on. It's just incredible. But, that's if you want to get it always, because it's always the same thing on the Android. Is if you go through the Google Play Store to get your apps, you're pretty much safe.
Yeah.
But if you do get them from somewhere else, I got one thing
That's
that was
at your
curious.
own risk.
Last week, my pick of app was Malwarebytes, and I installed a game that was a Mario clone from the Google Play Store. And an hour later, I had a pop-up from Malwarebytes said, hey, there's adware hidden in that game.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, really? Okay. Because, you see ads when you play games.
Of course.
But that one said, no, there's an ad malware inside that app. And I was like, okay, but it's coming through the Google Play Store. So,
Well, even them are not perfect.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. I would rather
you,
have...
You should have an iPhone.
So, who has a S7? And by the way, that's going to be a cool thing. In Creators Update, I'll be able to unlock my PC by doing this. My phone.
Oh, so when you get to the airport, they can unlock your PC even if there's a code?
I'll have 8 computers with me. They're going to unlock everything just because I put my thumb on my phone. So anyways, it's I was reading an article. They told you about that, the article about that guy, a tech journalist, a Canadian tech journalist that went to the United States, comes back, Border Patrol says, we need your PIN to see what's in your phone. And of course, he's born in Canada, but he has a name. It's a Pakistani name, so, And he refused, and he spends 48 hours in jail. And because he still doesn't want to give the PIN, and after 48 hours, he needs to, they have no choice. He needs to call a lawyer. They just let him go, and it's like, okay, who cares? But man, I hate that. No privacy, man. No privacy at all. I can tell you that. And so.
Oh, well, that makes good press.
Yeah, I guess so. And what is that? Did you know you could speed up a live stream? Well, I would guess you can. You can probably when you go through the recorded show, go faster if you want. It's like a YouTube video. You can go times 2, times 3, times 4 if you want to go faster.
But when we're live, you cannot go in the future.
Yeah. If anybody tells us what we're going to say in 10 minutes, I mean, man, $100 to anyone who gives a complete sentence exactly that we're going to say in 10 minutes time. So, you have the cat night light on.
What?
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The cat night light on? What's the cat night light on?
This? No, I don't know.
That feels weird, by the way. I was looking at how the right side looks so bizarre, and it's because I think I stretch it too much on the top. And so one side is okay, the other side looks weird. And I didn't want to put too I thought it was better to put just one. And next week we're gonna have something there. I have a few ideas that I'm going to check out.
Cool.
So
yeah, that's the cat night like.
So that's why, Jerry. If I go to the United States, the only thing I put in my phone is tons of naked pictures of myself. And as you guys already said, maybe someone's gonna have fun. Maybe it's gonna have the wrong effect. But anyways,
it depends. If it's tiny, they're gonna have fun.
Oh boy. Well. Okay, so anybody has a question? Anything before we continue on? You had a nice week since last week.
Yeah, since last week I had a nice week.
I see you're not drinking very fast.
No, not really. Yeah, he has another just quiet week. I'm still looking for new video games to buy.
Okay.
On my 3DS, I bought Bravely Default.
What? Bravely Default?
Yeah, that's our JRPG. Okay. Because there is also Bravely Assault that I think came out not so long ago or is coming out soon.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this looks cool. But there is a prequel, so I'll buy the first one before that.
Yeah.
And but anyway, it came out in 2012, so it's not that old. There's that. There's also a game I would like. I think I will buy in March. Already out in Japan. Nier Automata.
Okay.
And this one looks really, really cool.
Okay. I want to play. You know what? I in the past week or two, I'm getting this urge to play some PC adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like playing. You know, I played one a couple of months ago that was really good. If you guys like PC adventure games, Dead Synchronicity. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic world.
Okay.
And the guy wakes up in a car and doesn't know who he is and why he's there and why the world looks like it is.
Okay.
And inside that game, there's like moments where there's like a little time travel warp going on from time to time, and he goes back in time and remembers things of who he was,
interesting,
and people he loved, and then suddenly he comes back and he's like still in that world that's like really something. You know what? I liked the feel.
Mm-hmm.
The feel of that weird world where he was pretty good actually. So I have this envy of some kind of
well, then
adventure game.
There are many adventure games on Steam, I believe.
I need to check that out.
I'm more of a RPG action, RPG fantasy, and action adventure.
Yeah.
Puzzle, I'm okay with that, but
not too much puzzle. I don't want to have. I hate games that have hard puzzles to do through it. I'd rather have just I'd rather have one that you've hidden the piece of paper really well in that room. Better than you got to figure out this is a pad, there are numbers, and to unlock the door you need to understand what the numbers mean with this chart and this.
And the piece of paper is somewhere on the island.
And you know what? Every time I have something like that, I just go to the walkthroughs online. It's like, give me the solution. And I got bit by that because a game that I played a few years back, there was no solution because every time you started the game, that panel that you had to open, it was always a new sequence.
Oh.
So they couldn't explain at a walkthrough how to do it because it changes all the time.
Oh my god.
So I spent a week before I did that. So Dead Synchronicity, Tim Robinson. Really enjoyed that. It's a nice game. Really a nice game. If you like adventure games, feel is good. The story is nice. It's really like it. What did we sing at the karaoke yesterday?
Some Coldplay.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen.
I sang Sky Full of Stars from Coldplay. Born to Run from Bruce Springsteen. Dancing with Myself from Billy Idol.
Riders on the Storm.
Riders on the Storm from the Doors.
Yeah.
You sang some Quebec artist.
I did.
Yeah, Plume.
I did one.
Yeah, you did one in the beginning.
No, I didn't.
Not the first one, the second one.
No, I did Painted Black.
You did Painted Black? You did one in French, no?
No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I did Painted Black. I did Holiday of Green Day.
Yeah, but between Holiday and...
No.
Yes, you did one.
No, I didn't do one in French.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, we'll have to go and see the recorded stuff later on.
Yeah.
Because all that is recorded, by the way, on that website.
There's a webcam on the karaoke website.
And it's all recorded, so what we sang yesterday is probably still online, visible to anybody that goes there.
What did I do? I remembered.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Anyways, we'll see. We'll go watch that later on.
Want to fight?
Yes, we'll fight. Okay, what else do we have? I
did the River, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah, you did the River. You did the River.
And that's
I remember that.
And
you did. The River was the second one you did.
Yeah. After that, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what was it.
Oh, alcohol.
Yeah.
That's alcohol for you. So
third was Holiday, and fourth I don't remember. The last one I did, I don't remember.
You don't remember the last one?
No.
I don't remember what.
It was not Duran Duran.
I don't remember what you sang last time. The last one either. So hey,
oh well.
Anyways, so that's pretty much, what we are at. So when do you want to put your loot crate inside the show?
Maybe after application time.
Okay, so...
and then we can go on with the news right after.
Okay. So what's your app of the week?
It's a little game called Dumb Ways to Die. So, it's kind of similar to the one I reviewed a few weeks ago, Toilet Time.
Toilet Time.
It is mini games in which you have to save your characters, and if you don't succeed in the mini game, you see him die in a stupid way. Trying to get his balloon in front of the subway, or getting electrocuted because the wires are not well connected, or because he put a fork in the toaster.
Version 3 will be Dumb Ways to Die on the toilet.
Dumb Ways to Die on the toilet.
He pooped himself to death.
It was too big. Some South Park poop.
We are really at the poop moment of the show.
Oh boy.
So, Dumb Ways to Die.
Yeah, and as you progress through the levels, it gets harder and harder. You have to be faster.
And it is available for
And the scoring is weird because you get points when you succeed, but even when you succeed, there are times when you lose points.
Okay.
It says level complete, you get points, and then because we don't like you, minus 35.
Well, there's a 2 also. You have the 1 or the 2?
I have the 1, I believe.
Okay, there's 2 versions here. Dumb Ways to Die and Dumb Ways to Die 2.
Okay, I have the first one.
Yeah, I've got from another one. Oh, there's a guide. Somebody did Dumb Ways to Die 2 guide. Oh, really?
I just succeeded the level, and it was written bad luck, minus 60 points.
Okay.
Okay. And there's one of my little character who fell between the subway and the rails.
Okay.
So that's Dumb Ways to Die.
That's Dumb Ways to Die. Okay.
Pretty cool little game,
Mine is the reason I chose mine was really because I think it's one of the cool things that you can do, and it's available for iOS. It's already actually on Android. It's integrated into Android, and it's the Google Translate app, which is really, really nice. So, for example, I could speak in French, and it's going to say it in English, and let's do a little demonstration here if it works. J'aime beaucoup faire des émissions web avec Gabriel.
I like to do web shows with Gabriel.
Oh,
Not bad.
That works
Not
well.
bad.
That works well.
So, anyways, Google Translate is not just cool because you can, for example, you go somewhere and you don't understand what somebody's telling.
Chinese.
You can actually have the person talking to your phone and then have it translated like this to your language, and at least there's a means of communication.
Yeah.
And what's also cool about the app is you can take a picture of something and it's going to tell you in your own language, okay, that's the sign says this.
Yeah.
So, I think it's one of those cool things you can do with your phone.
But we have to know that it's not perfect either.
No, it's not.
There are these flaws, Once I had these instructions, like in Japanese or Chinese, I took the picture.
Yeah, it's sometimes a little weird.
It was like, all right, put the one toaster on counter 4. But you understand the basic of it, but
and we got to understand one thing is that there's
it is made for short sentences, not a big
and it doesn't understand. One of the biggest problems that computers have right now and things like that is the fact that it doesn't understand context.
Yeah.
And context is extremely important because the same phrase doesn't mean the same thing depending on the context.
The context, the tone of the voice.
So that, of course, doesn't work well. But, it's great if you just want to, at least try to understand what people are saying or what a sign means. Or, I would see this totally if I go to another country that speaks a language I don't understand.
I saw a few weeks ago, I believe it is a Kickstarter or something like this, a translator that you don't need Wi-Fi to use.
Okay.
You speak, it translates like this.
Okay.
In like 0.6 seconds.
Okay.
No Wi-Fi required.
That means it has a lot of the algorithms already inside.
They tested it with Japanese and English. And it could be cool too, because when you need Wi-Fi, if you're in a place with no Wi-Fi.
No, that's one negative thing
bummer.
about Google Translate is it can't translate if it's not online.
Yeah, so that could be a problem.
If you go
in another country and you don't have data to use.
If you're stuck in the at the top of Mount Everest and your Sherpa says something in the language you don't understand. I'm sorry, but Google Translate might not help you up there. But there's so many people that went up there. Who knows? Maybe there's some cell tower now.
If you're stuck in Botswana, well, there's no Wi-Fi there. I believe.
Okay, how do I say a rhinoceros is
charging at me? Well, I believe it would be like, ah!
Yeah, I think that everybody understands in every language. That's pretty cool. So these are our apps. Before we do the unboxing, I'll do one little thing because I left the door in the back open and it's kind of getting a little cool.
Yeah, kind of. It's getting chilly.
And I just want to make sure that the neighbor's cats don't come and steal my cat's food. So I'm back in 2 seconds. Just
Alright.
Check it out. Let's see where's my cat at the same time.
So, I'm gonna unbox this loot crate with you guys as soon as Gilles come back. So for those who don't know, by the way, Loot Crate is one of many that exist that are subscriptions which you receive every month, a crate with some goodies inside related to a special theme. For example, last month the theme was Origins, and I got some stuff from Mario and Ninja Turtles and others. And this month the theme is Built, so I should have things like from, well, they said we would have things from Tetris, Lego, and more. And what's cool is that every box comes with a t-shirt among the goodies. So that's kind of cool, to be honest. And I receive it every month between the 20th and the 25th.
You explained what Loot Crate was?
Yep, I just explained that.
Okay.
And we're also going to actually film it with another camera because the unboxing itself is going to be on my channel
Smile,
after
everyone.
the
I'm filming you guys.
Yeah,
So
isn't that Inception? So I'm just gonna move my
2 seconds.
I'm gonna move my
and when
computer.
you're ready, you tell me to start. I'll start the camera, and we'll take a look.
Ready when you are.
So
So just start this.
here we go.
So as mentioned, we are unboxing the February 2016 Loot Crate, which team is built. I received it this morning. I didn't even undo the seal yet, so we're gonna go through this with all of you guys. Let's remove this seal here. The box is actually pretty big compared to regular crates. Usually it's like half the thickness, so there should be some interesting things in there.
Stuff in there.
So let's open this.
Check it out.
Yeah. Before anything, I'm gonna reach for the Loot Crate magazine at the bottom, because if I don't know what the item is, I can just check the magazine and it's gonna tell me.
Cool.
So I have to. Where is it? It's okay. I've got this. The Loot Crate magazine. The team is built, and so by the way, for those who are watching on my channel, I'm also live on the show right now, so that's why I look weird. So first of all, let's go with the t-shirt. So the team is built. So this is a t-shirt from the Power Rangers. Right here.
Oh, pretty nice.
Pretty nice, actually, yeah. It's like, you know,
like a blueprint.
Yeah, all the parts built there. That's this way. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Really cool.
What's next in this crate?
Okay, what else do we have in there?
I have this figure here. What is it? Lego Batman, I believe.
Lego Batman.
It says food container right here.
Container.
No, maybe not Lego.
So it's not Lego?
No. Let's see what's inside here.
It's Batman barbecue chips.
Well, yeah, it is Batman, that we can say. Okay. Oh, it's like a cookie jar.
Oh, Batman cookie jar.
So looks like this.
Oh, it's actually nice.
It's actually nice. I believe the top unscrews.
Or open somehow.
Yeah, it opens somehow. We just have to figure it. Oh yeah, it unscrews. And
it's metal.
It's plastic.
Plastic?
Plastic, yeah.
Sounds metal.
No, it is plastic. And what it says, there are these instructions. Recommended care and use.
Do not microwave.
Yeah, probably. Oh, no, temperature limitation 158 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So you can put it in the microwave. Yeah. So Batman cookie jar. Just see if I can screw it back together.
No, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is kind of cool.
Did it do it well, or will it go the right way or not? That's trying to put it back the way it was.
That's the
tricky part.
You'll actually learn that if you put it where at some point you'll know when you put it in a certain way it's gonna work.
Oh well. Anyway, so, that's the Batman cookie jar.
Cookie jar.
Or I could put a soup in there too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Though eating my soup in a plastic, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
With everything that comes in there.
What
Next is Lego Dimension.
Lego Dimension.
Yeah. So by the way, Lego Dimension is a game in which you create your Lego portal.
Okay.
And it uses augmented reality, and you actually see your characters on the portal in your TV.
Oh, okay.
From Lego. So I believe this is.
Let's check it a little closer here.
Okay. There too. And I believe this is probably an exclusive character that you can get. And they are. Yeah. It's quite well sealed right here. Oh, God damn it. Yes, I got it. So. Yeah, it is a character in Lego for the Lego Dimension game, which I don't have.
Okay.
But, just having a character in the Lego is already cool. So all the pieces are here.
The parts are there.
The parts are there. You have the plan to make it.
Okay.
And it will look like this in the back right here. Well, we can see you can see everything there. So
cool. Pretty cool.
So that's Lego Dimension. I'm gonna put everything over there. What else? What else? Oh, that looks nice. I believe these are flexible magnets. Tetris magnets.
Tetris magnets.
That's nice. That's cool.
Playing Tetris on your fridge.
But now I have to find how to open these because it is
it's
damnly well
plastic.
sealed. Well, you know, they are magnets, so I'm not afraid of breaking them at least. I got it. So Tetris magnets for the refrigerator, and
so fridge magnets.
And you can, I can just undo them one by one. And
okay, so you'll have your Tetris parts.
Tetris parts.
Holding your notes on your fridge.
Yep, that's nice.
Okay.
There's our favorite one, of course, the blue bar, and the one we hate, the square. It's useless. So yeah, cool. Fridge magnets. I saw some of them like on Think Geek before.
Okay.
And I always thought like this would be cool to have, but never had any use. I still don't have any use for them, but now I have them at least.
Okay.
So Tetris magnets, and there should be at least one item left.
Okay.
Which is usually the Loot Crate pin. What is that? Loot Crate support card. I don't care. This is... What is that? Okay, this is something for the internet, for the Loot Crate. I don't know what this is. I'll check after the show.
Okay.
Go on the internet and see what it does.
Okay.
And the pin, Loot Crate pin that we have every month this week is a Power Ranger.
Power Ranger pin. Okay.
So
Power Ranger.
That's actually pretty cool. There are some.
So that's the February 2017 Loot Crate.
Yes, there are actually some really nice stuff in there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's cool. So Loot Crate. Whenever I receive it on a Thursday, I'll do it live from the couch with you. So that's cool. And next month I'll do another unboxing here or on my channel. So now let's go on with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for the...
Yes, it is a Handycam, Tim. It's a Sony Handycam, but it records on... I've got a 64 gigabyte SD card in here. So and it does 1080p full HD, and it's of amazing quality. I'm gonna tell you that. I've had this for a few years now. Lots of my radio videos are done actually with this one, and so we'll transfer that to your tablet a little later on.
All right. I'm gonna figure out how to.
If you don't like it, you'll have to
bear with it.
Do it again at home. Pretend that you haven't done anything yet. But so this was the Loot Crate unboxing. Hope
you enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it. That's something that we did.
Oh well. Whatever.
He's going mad at the back. You know, he's gonna pass the next 4 days on trying to match the top of the Batman cookie jar to make sure that it fits correctly. But that T-shirt is actually nice with the blueprint. I really like it. Yeah. Really, really nice. Very nice. Huh, that's cool.
Yeah, but that's what I like about the Loot Crate. You have one T-shirt every month, so already it kind of covers the price of it, you know.
Yeah. And one thing that we want to talk a little bit, but we'll have more about it eventually, is we have Loot Crate items, and we'll do a show where we will show the items, and for a certain amount of donation, we'll be sending these items to people that watch our show. And not only will send the items, but if you want to have them personally autographed by me and Gabriel, we're going to do it. So that's coming pretty soon.
Yep.
And
that would be nice.
We'll do a special show probably for that. And hey, if we can get a few bucks to help us continue.
Yeah.
And where do we send our valued money when we want to help in the show? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. You can send your money to our PayPal account, which is fromthecouch@outlook.com.
Okay.
Pretty easy to remember. or on Patreon, which is patreon.com/fromthecouch.
Okay, that's cool.
Easy to remember. Just remember, from the couch.
That's cool.
From the couch.
Yep.
The couch knows everything.
And one little note to add, if you already contribute to my shows, and instead of sending to a gazillion different places, you'd like to send it to only one place, you can send it to my show and just put the comment of, I want to contribute to From the Couch, and I'll make sure that we transfer the funds to the proper account also. And thanks for everybody that is contributing. Really, really cool.
Good.
And
I managed to close the box.
Nice.
I had to bring it back home.
It was almost a let's bring the items one by one.
Yeah. Good.
So
I'll put this here for now. Whew. Good.
Don't take it bad, Halton. We're giving channel operator status only to some people that we truly trust. So I'm sorry, but it's not because you're a bad guy or anything. But eventually, if you're there regularly and you prove your worth, you'll have operator status. I can tell you that.
Be patient and learn, young Padawan.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Lady Catherine. And by the way, I did give operator status to Miss Lady Catherine on the other show, so we'll do it here too, Miss Lady Catherine. And why not Patrick Manny also? That's a trusted friend of ours, and so here we go. Okay. And Alton, don't take it bad. It's really, really nothing personal. We like to really know our people before we do this, because operator status is really something that gives you a lot of power. So I want to make sure that we give it to the good guys. And if you're there regularly and we see that you're worth, don't worry about it, Alton. One day you will be, and I'll be happy to do it. Okay.
So, hello to everyone who
don't take it bad, because I always want to say this, because some people just don't take it well when we say, well, we can't do that, and it's really something that we need to make sure that.
That's a good question. Patrick Manny is asking how much costs the loot crate. It's somewhere around $30 a month, $30 US dollars.
$30 US dollars a month.
Depending on the subscription you take. You can of course take the one-time deal, which is only one crate for. If I go on the Loot Crate
so you can
website,
have just one Loot Crate?
Yeah. I go on the Loot Crate website actually and tell you what price they are.
Okay. Do they have different Loot Crates also?
Yes, there are different types of Loot Crate, and there's not only Loot Crate who's doing this. There are other.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But Loot Crate is one among many. But the Loot Crate. If you check, there are different crates. There is the Loot Crate DX, which is like some jumbo crate. Loot Anime, so stuff from Japanese anime that I thought about subscribing, but the stuff was not interesting enough for me. Loot Gaming, once again, it's from games that I don't really play, so it's not really worth it to me. Loot Pets, so animal stuff, and Loot Wear, so it kind of shirts, socks, hats, all of these. And the basic Loot Crates is, your overall geek stuff. I get video games, I get superheroes, I get everything in this one instead of just focusing on one team.
Okay.
And if I check the Loot Crate itself, the prices, get Loot Crate. What are the prices? Of course, there are often some rebates if you have some codes that you can find on their Facebook page, basically. So, where do I check What are the prices?
Alton, it's quite easy to set up a PayPal account. You just go to paypal.com and look at sign up, and you'll see it's very easy to sign up for a PayPal account.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where do I go already to check the price. Well, the one crate is 40 Canadian dollars for 1 month.
Okay.
But if I check the 12-month plan, because you have 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. So the price I'm going to say are in Canadian dollars. So remove about 25% and you get it in the US.
Okay.
So $40 in Canadian for 1 month, or 35 Canadian for 12 months.
Okay.
35 per month, and you pay everything in one shot. So if I take the 12-month subscription, they're gonna charge me already 300 and something, and then I'm good for a whole year. And it's automatic renewals, so if you don't want to renew it, you have to go in your settings, or you're gonna have a bad surprise someday.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe that's a fair price, especially considering there is a T-shirt in every crate. Just a T-shirt costs that around $40 on any website, and you always have between 3 and 6 items.
Okay.
Always.
Cool.
And in the past, I had some pretty cool stuff from Space Invaders, from Marvel, from everything. Final Fantasy.
It's far from what I have subscribed to, which is cattreats.com, which is a box of treats for your cat every month. And yes, I did.
Oh yeah.
It's treats and games and all sorts of things for cats.
You're lucky. So lucky.
Okay, so thank you for the Loot Crate unboxing. The funniest thing, we were talking last night about, if one day I get my Loot Crate on a Thursday,
I'll do it here.
We'll do a Loot Crate unboxing. And I said, oh yeah, why not? Good idea.
This morning,
he texts me on my phone early this afternoon and he says, hey, Loot Crate unboxing today.
By the way, the March theme for the Loot Crate will be Primal. And we will have stuff from the X-Men, Overwatch, Predator, and more. So, Primal, you could maybe expect something from Baby Groot.
Okay.
Maybe. So that's
okay.
Cool, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Thank you very much for this unboxing.
It's been a pleasure.
And really, really nice stuff there. Really nice. So, pretty cool. Okay, we'll continue on with some of our optional news stuff.
Yeah, go on.
And of course, if anybody has questions, we'll answer them also. I'm surprised about one news, and I read many articles to understand why. Verizon, that still wants to buy Yahoo, and
who wants Yahoo?
They only ask for $350 million discount. I mean, they're at $4.8 billion. That means they're going to pay $4.4 billion. And I tried to understand that, and two things made me understand a little more. Because, sometimes companies, there are things that we don't really know about. And basically, what I've seen is, first of all, on This Week in Tech, the show from the Twit Network, they were talking about Yahoo China and Yahoo Japan is apparently huge. It's like the thing over there. It's like, for them, it's like here in 1998. It's major. And apparently Verizon wants to penetrate these markets, and with Yahoo, they'll do that.
Yeah.
And so they say, okay, we have a $350 million penalty because you've been hacked twice without telling anyone. But we still want to have Yahoo because we want to have and integrate all of that. So it's like, okay, I understand a little more why they still want, because I would understand why they still wanted to do that. Honestly. If I'd be Verizon, I'd be running away.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. So, anyways, it seems the deal is going through, and that Yahoo. We know that Yahoo will change name. I just don't remember what's the name they wanted to give it, but Yahoo will change name. I got a lot of questions about that. Yes, your Yahoo Mail still continues to work. It's a separate entity, apparently. Yahoo Mail is a separate entity. And you know what? I've learned something I didn't know. Yahoo Mail is the second biggest email service in the world after Hotmail.
No, seriously?
And I was like, really? In 2017 still? I thought Gmail would be the big one. I knew that Hotmail was big. I knew that Outlook.com and Hotmail and these services, I knew it was big because everybody wanted to be on that. First of all, because you didn't know that period of time, but when you had Windows 98, Windows Millennium, there was a MSN account that you wanted to create, and everybody wanted to be on, the Messenger. Messenger, because everybody was chatting through Messenger. Basically, that's replaced, and we were talking about that. Totally replaced by Facebook Messenger. Now, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's Facebook instead of And I was surprised when I saw it. Was like, really, Yahoo Mail is the second biggest email service in the world.
I remember I have an old Monopoly game at home, which is Monopoly Internet version. It's like from 2002. Yahoo is the case of the boardwalk, and Google is not even on the board.
No, and
we've come a long way.
There's one thing also that I gotta say is that at first I was amazed, but then I was like, let's not forget one thing. Yahoo email is there since 1998.
Mm-hmm.
So over the years, there have been tons of people going there. And we got to understand one thing. Like anything in life, moving away from one service to another is a big deal for a lot of people. So that is...
Well, I still have my Yahoo Mail account, but that's where now I send all my junk.
Yeah, I have mine because it gives me services that I use, like the Yahoo groups. I can use some services of the Yahoo groups because I have that. And that's why I keep mine. But, when they were hacked, I was scared. Because for a while in the year 2000s, had my credit cards there because I had some Yahoo domains. I had bought some websites. Yahoo domains, and I had the website for my business, Atelier Informatique. I had lots of little things. I had websites that I constructed and then abandoned because I was trying all sorts of things. And when they got hacked and they didn't tell us, I was like, is my credit card number still in Yahoo? And I went to my Yahoo wallets, and it said no credit card in Yahoo wallet. I said, okay, I must have removed it sometime because I said, that's usually what I do is at some point I was probably telling myself, I won't buy any more services through this. They shouldn't have my credit card. And that keeps me safe. Mm-hmm. I think it's a good thing to do. Hey, Rebel Pearls, nice to have you on board. Our beautiful women, Rebel Pearls and Miss Lady Catherine are here.
And she's back from the beauty shop.
I bet you that, and she was telling me on Grable Pearls was telling me on the tech show on Tuesday that she really wants us to go down there, and she's gonna cook us some really cool food.
Okay.
And she gave a list of all the food that she could cook for us, and it was like, okay, sure, no problem.
Get your papers in order.
And Tim says, yeah, we're gonna go there and drink all their alcohol. So nice to have everybody here as usual. You guys are great, and we got a great fan club. So what is some of your optional news?
Well, first why not? We could talk about the next expansion for Final Fantasy XIV Online. For those who don't know, Final Fantasy XIV is an online game. It was not like the main Final Fantasy, which are just, you just play alone in your room. I played it. I bought it for the PlayStation 3, and the next expansion pack, which doesn't have a date yet, I believe, will bring the samurai class into your character selection. With the samurai, you will start at level 50 with no specific equipment required to use it. The level cap will be raised to 70. Your items number will be increased, and Final Fantasy XIV with the next expansion and update will cease to support the PlayStation 3 because it is becoming obsolete and probably not enough players are playing on this, which means that I have it on the PlayStation 3. If I want to play again, I will have to buy it again on the PS4. But I've never been a big fan of massive multiplayer online games. But still, Final Fantasy XIV is doing quite well. I believe there are still 2 million people playing every month.
Wow.
So 2 million times I don't know, $20 or $30 a month. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So Final Fantasy XIV next expansion pack, Stormblood will be called, and you'll have that's what you'll get.
Okay.
And just by the way, speaking of Final Fantasy, you've surely already heard that there is a remake of Final Fantasy VII coming someday somewhere.
Yeah, I saw something.
Vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely.
Well, it was announced at E3 2015. It was like announcing that everyone in the audience won the lottery, and it's gonna be graphically remake for the PlayStation 4. A bit of changes, but the story is gonna be the same. The game's gonna be the same. And they announced that the dubbing for the Japanese version was almost over. So which means English will start soon, or probably already started. And we don't have a date yet for Final Fantasy VII, the remake. But it's not, probably won't be this year, but we could expect it maybe in 2018.
Okay.
I will buy this. It's gonna be so cool.
If you're gonna buy it.
Well, people have been wanting this remake since they did a technical demo for the PlayStation 3 as the opening of Final Fantasy VII. They did it with PlayStation 3 graphics at the time, and people were already like, "Oh my God, are they gonna make a remake? Oh, this is gonna be so cool!" And they only announced it in 2015.
I guess you have played all Final Fantasy from the first one to
15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. I'm pretty sure that the answer was yes, but
I bought the PlayStation remakes for the first one since I don't have original Nintendo.
Okay.
But yeah, I did them all.
These games are not for PC, right?
Now they are on Steam.
There are some. Oh, okay.
1 to 9 is on Steam.
Oh, okay.
And I believe the 10 HD remaster is also on Steam.
Okay.
11 online also, but I believe it's not supported anymore.
I need to check Steam. There must be a lot of things there that are interesting.
If any of you never played Final Fantasy and only have PCs, on Steam they are all available, but at least from 1 to 9. That I can assure you, for like under $30 each.
Okay.
Yep. My best 3 are 7, 4, and 6.
Okay. Okay. I got some interesting numbers for Windows 10 that came out from a company called AdDuplex. That company is a company that takes all sorts of numbers of different usage and of and they got some interesting numbers this month. They decided to go into other types of, let's take out numbers of PC users. And first of all, the first number is HP is the most popular PC maker, and really by far. It's 24% of all PCs. Okay, to give you an idea, the closest competitor is Dell, and they're at 14%.
Ooh, okay.
So they are really big, and it's just funny because I still remember like 3 years ago when they said, "Oh, HP is not going to make PCs anymore," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It brings money.
And then, like a month after, they said, no, we're going to do PCs. What the hell is that? We're not doing PCs, we're going to do PCs. What are you doing?
Right.
So HP 24%, Dell 14%, Lenovo 12%, and Microsoft's own stuff is at 2.5%.
Which is not bad.
Not bad, but that is what I expected. They're more expensive devices most of the time. Also, how many users have now moved to Anniversary Update, which is the latest version of Windows 10? Over 90% of people now.
Oh, that's not bad.
So that's not bad. Over 90% of all of you out there are on Anniversary Update.
Well, many are still on Windows 7,
Very interesting number on this one. The most popular screen resolution of your PC used in the world. So, the most popular and commonly used resolution by far, 1366 by 768. That's 33.3% of people that have that resolution.
What?
Let me just check what's my resolution on my PC here. You know why? Because a lot of people use laptops.
Yeah.
And laptops don't have the resolution.
Okay.
It's just resolution. What's my... Yours is probably bigger than that.
Change the screen resolution.
So let's check it out here.
My resolution is 2736 by 1824.
So I'm in the resolution that they just talked about, 1366 by 768. So that's probably the main resolution of a lot of laptops.
So mine actually is the double of you.
So that's 33.3%. Then we've got 1920 by 1080, 21%. So that is, for example, the TV. My TV here is at 1920 by 1080.
Yeah.
Typically,
that's your full HD.
When you use a really big screen TV, that's pretty much what you have. So that's interesting. Also, what do we have at 7.8%? 1600 by 900.
Okay, so that's like your half HD.
So that's kind of interesting. These numbers are kind of fun. It's like, who decided, let's look at the screen resolution of people using Windows PCs.
That's weird.
And finally, in the Surface tablets, Surface Pro 4 dominates. It's 40% of all Surface devices. So 40% of all Surface devices are Surface Pro 4.
That's cool.
Followed by 27% Surface Pro 3. Surface 3, 14.2%. The Surface Pro 1, the one that you had.
Yep.
7.3% still.
Cool, I still have it.
And where's Surface Book? It's at 6.3%.
Oh, so people did buy it.
So, of course, this is of the Microsoft stuff.
Yeah.
And and Surface Studio is at 0.1%. But, of course,
it just came out.
Yeah, and that...
It's pretty expensive.
3,000, 4,000... like a usable version is like $4,000. That's a lot of money. So, I found it interesting to see these numbers. It's like, instead of just having market share and stuff like that, interesting numbers that come out of at Duplex. And it's kind of cool to see what people are using and what they're doing exactly with their PCs. So that's it for the numbers.
That's cool. Next, I'd like to talk about the different gaming store, PlayStation and Xbox store.
Okay.
First of all, on the PlayStation store, until the end of February, if you buy for more than $100 worth of stuff, anything except third-party apps, you will get a $15 credit to your account. Though there are still a few twists. First, the money needs to come from your PlayStation wallet, not like from your credit card. So you have to transfer the money on PlayStation and then buy what you want. Okay. But that's not a big problem. The $15 credit will only come to your account by March 14th, so it won't be immediate. And you only have till the end of March to use it.
Okay.
That's kind of a bummer, you know. If there are no game you want, only 15 days maybe to use it. They could give us at least 1 month.
Yeah.
But still, if you are gonna buy game pretty soon, you can get a $15 credit on the PlayStation Store if you buy for $100 worth of anything, movies, games, or anything from the PlayStation Store. And the Xbox Store, we found out today the games that will be free for members of the Xbox Live Gold. So if you have an Xbox One, you will have Layers of Fear for the whole month for free, and Evolve Ultimate Edition from March 16th to April 15th. On the Xbox 360, for members of the Xbox Live Gold, you will be able to purchase for free Borderlands 2 from the 1st to the 16th, and Heavy Weapon Atomic Tank from the 16th to the end of March. And each of these games, once purchased, will work on the Xbox One as retro compatibility is available.
Okay. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I wanted to add it as my news, but I saw that you had it before me, was one thing that, it will impact what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Ads on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
So it's your news, so you should.
No, you can go with it. We'll just discuss it.
You know
more about it than I do.
Of course, anything from 30-second ads to more on YouTube is annoying.
8 minutes and 54.
And I gotta say, I totally agree with that. And I am a YouTuber, and I am paid by monetization of these ads with shows like this and everything that I do and the videos that I post. So I don't want to bite the hand that is actually feeding me, but still, I gotta say, yesterday, an example, I had never seen that before. I did see yesterday for the first time a 1-minute ad that couldn't pass.
What?
Yep. And it was before a Coldplay video.
What is that? 1 minute? Hey, come on.
And I had an immediate comment. I was sitting in my chair and I said, it's because of you F type of ads that people are using ad blocks.
Yeah.
Okay? Because of these annoying ads, people are using ad blocks. One thing that I want to say is I think that it's okay to have 6-second ads. Or all the 6-second ads that I've seen, first of all, really passes quickly.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's direct to the point. Hey, Toyota. Hey there. Okay, we know it's a Toyota car. It's okay.
Yeah.
Woohoo, thank you.
Those speakers are the best.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, HP PC. I know it's an HP laptop. Okay. Oh, it's nice. It's beautiful. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of time, And I hate it when an ad, when an ad starts and it's like, we believe that people need better services. And it's like, yeah, sure. I'm gonna watch that boring ad.
Yeah.
Please. Okay? I'm not much of a fan of companies that start saying we are the best in what we do, and it's like
with our insurance, no medical exams are required.
Yes. We actually the gas companies help in solar power and
protecting the environment.
Yes, right. We believe that we have to be in a safe environment. Yeah, right.
Believe in Petronas.
So, anyways, let's stop ranting about that because, okay. So 6-second ads. Now, I'm curious because I would guess a 30-second ad that's non-skippable is probably gives me more money than a 6-second one. I would guess so.
But if you compare to how much you skip them,
But
there could be a difference.
For everyone that you can skip, of course, because there's not a lot of 30 seconds that you don't skip. But there are some, but there's not a lot of them. I'd rather have ads everywhere, 6 seconds only.
Yeah.
And I would like YouTube to find a way to, look, we've got ads. And you know what? That's something that I did think about. I'm thinking that the ads are going to be embedded in the YouTube video in a way that even if you have an ad block, it's still going to play.
That's what they should do.
And that's what I think should be, because
there are many websites that doesn't work if you have an ad block.
When we go on certain sites, I understand why some people use ad blocks, because there are sites
they abuse
that are annoying. For example, okay, just an example. I'm on the CNET website.
The square at the bottom of the screen.
That little square of video, please.
And sometimes you turn it off, you still hear a voice.
Yes, I still hear a voice.
And you cannot find where it comes from.
You know what? I just muted my microphone because while you were talking, there was a voice somewhere. And I was like, where the hell is it coming from?
And you never find it.
And I went through the page and I don't see where the voice is coming from. So anyways, I understand sometimes people. Okay, but I'm going to do my little ranting that I do regularly. Please, if you like the content of people like us, one of the things that you need to know is that you can whitelist. You can go to our YouTube channel and you whitelist. Whitelist means your ad block will allow ads for our content. And the reason why you need to do that is, remember guys, this year I'm ranting a lot because this year is a make or break year for me. And, it's not starting up really well. So I got to say that one of the major issues, I'm looking at one number in my AdSense, and it's CTR. CTR is click-through rate. It's the percentage of ads technically viewed. Even an ad that was viewed is what we call a click. They still call it a click.
Okay.
So between 1.8 and 2.5% click-through rate it's very low. Mm-hmm. And I'd be curious if tomorrow we would have a full day of no ad blocks at all. Would that change the click-through rate? Would I see that it's 4% instead of 2%? Mm-hmm. If the answer is yes, I'm sorry, but we need to have a war on ad blockers, because I'm sorry, but you guys are enjoying a show. We ask for money, but we're not requiring you to give any money. And you know what? One of the reasons why it's here is because there's a paycheck at the end of it, and that paycheck comes through ads on YouTube. And you got to remember that if nobody watches ads anymore, what's going to happen is the interesting content you'll see on the web will either become paid content or totally disappear from the web. And the web is going to become a boring place. Mm. And I see that all the time as my clients. Sorry, I just drank here because I'm about to cough. So, basically, the thing is, I've seen so many times some of my own clients tell me, oh, when I go on Hotmail, can I remove the ads on the right side? And I always tell them, well, the reason Hotmail or Outlook is free is because these ads are here. Mm-hmm. So, it's just something that you got to understand. Ads are there because they're paying for the content you are viewing. That doesn't cost you a penny. Mm-hmm. And it's important to understand that. And, of course, there are websites that you go to and it's like, okay, we understand why you're using an ad block, a website like that. So anything you want to add to that? Add to that? Or ads?
For the ads, not really.
Okay.
Want to change the subject before it gets too sad when we get hangry?
Yes.
No, we are still playing Pokemon Go.
Yes.
And if anyone out there is still playing it too, we can tell you how to get the 2 new evolution that came out with the 80 new Pokemons. So, 80 Pokemon came out last week, like right after our shows. Last week? Or the other before?
The other before.
The other before? Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah, it was last week.
Oh yeah, because it was after the show that you became completely nuts.
Yes, Pokemon!
He became completely crazy just after the show because he just noticed that we had new Pokemons. That's real. A week ago. It's a week ago.
And there are 2 new evolutions for Eevee because any Pokemon fans know that Eevee's got evolutions for every type that exists through every generations. So you can get now Umbreon and Espeon. Umbreon, the dark type, can be acquired if you rename your Eevee Tamao, Tamao, before making it evolve. And Espeon, you have to rename your Eevee Sakura, Sakura, to have it evolve into an Espeon. And that's the same trick as for the first evolutions, renaming them to the name of the trainer in the anime that has it. And by the way, Espeon is kind of purple red.
Okay.
And Sakura is actually a cherry tree flowers.
Okay.
So that fits with it.
Okay. Okay, so you can now evolve the Eevee with two. It's two new. Huh?
And Umbreon is pretty weak, but Espeon is surprisingly strong for a psychic type.
Okay. So we'll check that out next time I have Eevees to evolve. And we'll try it out. I've evolved all the other ones before, so pretty cool. Okay. What else do we have?
I had one other thing.
I'm pretty much out of news for me.
Well, I had one more thing. Futurama game coming to mobile platforms.
Uh-huh.
We don't know when, but it was announced by Matt Groening himself that he and the team behind the show were working on a game application for your smartphones, and they are working themselves on it to make sure it will be really Futurama. It will feel like Futurama. And we don't even know what kind of game it will be. So we just have to be patient and see what it will be like, but I believe this could be really cool.
Okay.
It will be called Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow. And that
could be interesting.
Yep.
And could be interesting. I played a Futurama boring game that was kind of a it was a little bit like a Candy Crush type game and the team of Futurama. It was like, okay, yeah, it's like
So we've gone through all my news.
Okay. Anybody have questions or anything?
Yeah,
that's what we were talking yesterday about how sad that episode was.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the episode where the dog waits for Fry
all of his life and he dies there just waiting for Fry to return.
Yeah, that's sad.
I gotta say that was probably the saddest cartoon that I've ever seen in my life. It's like it ends and you're like, okay.
Oh, poor dog.
I want to cry. So, okay. So everybody having fun, and anybody have questions? Grateful Pearls is ranting about someone that she wanted to put lead up her ass. Or his ass or something.
Oh my god.
So, I don't know. Anything you've seen today that makes you wonder or want
where the world is going?
Where the world is going?
I believe it's going toward tomorrow.
If we're looking at I'm expecting on my side, I'm expecting that we'll have a probably an insider preview of Windows maybe tomorrow, which would be one of the rare occurrences. So tomorrow I'm gonna. Part of my day tomorrow will be looking at Donna Sarkar's posts on Twitter and checking out what she if she will issue an insider preview or not. The Ryzen. Oh yeah, that one of the things that was interesting today is AMD CPUs are coming out on March 2nd, and the AMD Ryzen CPUs. And actually, they took one of them, which is the 8-core AMD Ryzen 1800X, and it beat the world record in performance.
Okay.
They overclocked it, and you know how much they overclocked it? These CPUs run usually around 3.4, 3.6 gigahertz. They put liquid nitrogen cooling on it.
Okay.
And they boosted the cores to 5.2 gigahertz.
Ooh.
And it actually beat by a small margin, but it beat the world record in performance for a CPU.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was amazing. But imagine, 5.2 gigahertz on 8 cores at the same time on a CPU. I would have loved to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see how they do the liquid nitrogen cooling also. Pretty amazing.
You wonder how to make more money. Maybe we should try playing the YouTuber's Life game and see how it works.
Yeah.
Or the PewDiePie Tycoon, or I don't know what.
Oh, man.
Maybe we will learn something out of it.
PewDiePie. I want to puke when I hear that. I don't know why. I don't know.
PewDiePie?
PewDiePie. I like that. Oh, we'll do just an alternate channel, PewDiePie.
We're gonna eat pie and puke.
Unfortunately, it says image because it'd be cool because you could do a PewDiePie, and what you do with it is you laugh at PewDiePie laughing at his games. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice. Oh man, we gotta unplug the TV.
Oh, the TV has crashed again?
Yes, the TV has crashed again.
Oh well.
Sorry, 2 seconds, people. We'll be back. I hate it. It does that only with that PC. I'm gonna switch PCs.
Well, you've been saying you would switch for 3 weeks.
Well, you know why I didn't switch? Because
PC, you're lazy.
No, that PC has not been stable enough.
Oh, okay.
Rather unplug and plug back the TV 2 times a day.
I believe you're just lazy.
And
you're just lazy. You have just this to do with your life.
No, I don't have just this to do. I have tons of videos every day. I have, what is that? My iPad. Okay, I lost my iPad in the cushions. I've got this big iPad that I've been searching for, and it's lost in the cushions of the sofa. Okay, that's kind of interesting.
Oh well.
So, okay, PewDiePie. That would be nice. Laughing at PewDiePie laughing at his games. That'd be nice. What else do we have? We have Gabriel Pearls that said I was saying that those autoplay ads make me think someone was in my house late at night one night. Oh, really? But, I remember once I had my earphones on and the volume was at max, and I clicked on a link to go on a website that for there was no visual of anything, and somebody said, "Hi, I'm Mark." It's like, what the hell is that? It was like, 1 in the morning. It's like, okay, I just had a heart attack for a second. Hi there, I'm Mark. Okay, shut up, please. Okay. Whoops. Let's see here. Becky Dawson, hello there. Nice to have you on board. What else here? What else? Nothing much there.
Nothing much, really.
Nothing much there. So anyway, so the Ryzen CPU stuff was kind of cool. I'm looking at quickly the latest tech stuff here, what's happening.
I didn't see anything interesting on my side.
And
usually Thursday afternoons and Fridays are quite boring on my end.
Samsung Galaxy S8. I saw some little video of that, which was extremely interesting. And no buttons nowhere. It's all happening on the screen that is actually making the full front side.
What? Well, you see
And so it
the
online buttons and everything. Pretty.
the rumors for the iPhone 8 would also be that it would be the whole screen, but not curved. The screen would not be curved, but it would take, just about everything.
I'm expecting something big. It's 10 years. It's 10 years.
They have to do something big.
A lot of people.
Let's admit it. The announcement when they did the iPhone 7, that was boring.
Well, it's not that much better than, it's helping their sales, but it's, I don't see something fantastic in the iPhone 7. One of the things that that a lot of analysts been saying is they were holding on to all sorts of new stuff because they wanted to do a really major announcement for the 10th anniversary. So we know one thing. We know that in March there will be an Apple event.
Okay.
They're going to talk about iPads, new iPads. And by the way, they've been doing these new iPad ads that are kind of, I don't know, if I'd be Microsoft, I'd be annoyed at them. Because they're like, oh, this is the iPad Pro. And yes, you can use Word and do, It's like, okay. Oh, you can do Excel and do some spreadsheets. And it's like, okay, you're trying to steal the PC market now? What is it? What is that? So we know going to be iPads, and there's going to be a red, the funny things, a red iPhone.
A red iPhone.
Yeah. Well, it's a girl thing.
Maybe because they want it to burst in flames too.
It's a girl thing. It's
definitely.
They all want to buy that pink iPhone or something like that. They all want to have these colors.
Gray or black or white is perfect.
There was a news this week that apparently is not true, that Samsung would be refurbishing the Galaxy Note 7s with smaller batteries so they don't explode.
I would still not buy it.
And sell them to the Indian markets, so they would probably kill a few hundreds of Indians in India.
Well, they are poor, so who cares?
Yeah, well...
No, I don't think that's for real.
Not really.
I'm not really thinking
that's not really the case. And so, but Samsung India said, no, we're not gonna do that. I'd like to see where they're gonna, what they're gonna do exactly. Are they going to recycle them, or is there there's what was it, that game, that ET game that nobody ever bought from Atari?
They buried in Mexico.
They buried like a dump of thousands of cartridges.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Well, they do like a hole and put 2.5 million
Galaxy
Note 7s in there. It's sad because the Note 7 was such a powerful and fantastic phone. But when it explodes.
Well, we have someone from Sydney who's watching.
Oh, Orlando! Hello there, Orlando Hen. That's another user that comes from the radio channels.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. We're holding on to our viewership tonight. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did I get... Yes, Miss Lady Catherine. Thank you so much for your support. It's much appreciated. You know what? I have a little story with that. That day went really bad for me. And actually, I had to apologize to Tim Robinson because when I posted the comment in the chat about, the way I posted the comment in the chat about him, kicking out somebody of the chat and everything. When I posted, I was in a bad mood, so I posted it in a way that I didn't want to be, bad. But then after that, I looked at my post and was like, hey, Tim, I'm really sorry. I hope you don't take it bad because it's not at all the way that I wanted to do it. So what happened is that that day was one of those days that you just want to forget. And I went out. I'm trying to hold on a diet right now to lose weight, and it was such a bad day. And I said, the hell with it. I'm getting myself a bag of Doritos, and I'm gonna gorge myself in Doritos and watch some Netflix stuff. And I went to get my bag of Doritos, and I saw a little P on my phone because when I get when I get some money through PayPal, there's a little icon that appears on my phone. So I was like, oh, something's happening on PayPal. So I looked and I saw it was you, Miss Lady Catherine. And you know what? You put a smile on my face. You know what? I got out of there with my bag of Doritos and I was like, okay, this is a cool end of the day to what was a day that I just wanted to forget. And I just sat down, you put a smile on my face, and I watched some Netflix stuff, binge watching some Netflix shows. I was watching, of course, The Office, that I'm almost gone through all the seasons now. Unfortunately, The Office is, I'm sad to say, it's downhill after season 5. It's not as fun. When from the time the company gets sold, I don't know, it's different. And poutine and beer is better. So and I of course had to get myself a egg McMuffin with sausage because now since the 21st here we have McDonald's breakfast 24/7. So
Yeah.
I really had to do that.
Yeah.
I really had to
great.
do that.
That's great.
I never eat breakfast because
It's too early.
do you know what the life of a YouTuber is? A life of a YouTuber is a guy that wakes up at 9:30 a.m. That takes at least an hour and a half before he's really fully waking up.
Yeah, same for me, but
And by that time, it's noon or almost. And I post my news bulletin online around that time. And of course, you can't go and eat breakfast. It's too late.
Yeah.
And most restaurants don't want. So when they said, hey, Egg McMuffin, and breakfast 24-hour a day.
oh, that's amazing.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go eat breakfast at noon. I want that now.
At 5, breakfast for supper.
Yeah, anytime. So anyways, that's pretty much, so I'm sorry, Tim, for Tuesday. I hope, I wasn't harsh or anything. It was like, it was a bad, I sometimes have a short temper. He knows a little bit about that. I sometimes have a short temper, and but I love all of you, and that you got to make, I want to make sure that everybody knows and understands. So we're at 2 hours and 6 minutes in our show.
Mm-hmm.
And cheers, yeah. I'm gonna open myself a beer. You're not drinking.
Open.
Yeah, I was open.
No, I'm not really drinking today. I'm,
There's still 3 bottles in there.
With our evening yesterdays, I woke up this morning and was like, I don't want beer.
I was not hungover, but I was tired.
Yeah.
We drank 12 beers, so 6 each.
Yeah. You drank more than me.
Yeah, I drank 7.
You must have drank 7.
7 beers.
And
I drank.
And 4 shooters for
How
you.
many
3
shooters?
for
me. 4 for me.
You took 4. I took 3.
I took 3 vodka and 1 butter shot that you paid me. So 3 vodka shots, 1 butter shot, and 7 beers. It's a lot of alcohol for an evening.
In 4 hours.
I remember. We got.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember pretty much everything, even when I'm drunk. That's why when somebody tells me I'm drunk and I have no idea what happened yesterday, I'm a little skeptical because I
usually remember.
Pretty much, the only time I did have some blackouts was on the very, very heavy drinking, and it doesn't happen very often. One time when there's a party and people had incriminating pictures of things that I don't even remember I did.
Oh, God.
That's kind of what. But, I remember I got out of the bar yesterday, and I remember telling myself when I was on the sidewalk, yeah, I'm kind of drunk. And I started playing Pokemon Go, and I said, I'm just going to go a little bit around. And finally, I walked up to St. Hubert Street. So it gives you an idea of how far I went.
That's kind of far,
That's kind of far. So I went up to there on Jean Talon, and then I came back to Bélanger.
Okay, yeah.
So I did all of that.
Wow.
And so, of course, I hatched a 5 kilometer egg and I think a 2 kilometer egg also. And had no Pokeballs anyways because there were so many Pokeballs everywhere that I just like couldn't even, you just get 2 Pokeballs and it's like, okay, there's 3 Pokemons. Okay, I'm not
waiting.
So anyways, I did that. I came back home, was about 2:20 a.m.
Why did Cortana start?
Because she loves you.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's see if both starts. Hey, Cortana.
Mine did.
I did see my screen kind of move. Hey, Cortana. What's the weather like?
It's 9 degrees in
It's
Montreal.
9 degrees in Montreal. I don't know why that one doesn't answer now. Hey, Cortana. Doesn't work. Okay. I guess
Your computer is retarded.
So,
no, boy.
next time you're drunk on the way home, raise your fist and shout at a lamppost. But you know what, Tim? I have one little story about yesterday when I was drunk. I have this big winter coat. So I'm already a little large. So with the winter coat, I'm 3 times larger. And I got a guy that visibly was, like the type of guy that's coming home from work like at midnight.
Okay.
That actually was looking at me from the other corner street, and I'm pretty sure he intentionally changed side of the street when he saw that I was looking at him, and he just like was saying, "Okay, I don't want to have trouble. I'm gonna change side of the street side." And it's like, well, no, I'm not a violent guy.
You were not naked under your coat?
Not really.
Oh.
Not really. That only happens in the summer.
Near schoolyards?
No, not really. No. But it's kind of funny, the interaction with people and things. It's just funny to see. So hey, questions. We want questions. I'm watching from my iPhone right now, and around correct is driving me crazy.
Autocorrect.
The around correct? The autocorrect, yeah. We actually can see why in that post why autocorrect is driving you crazy, Miss Lady Catherine. No. Oh yeah, Tim, I can tell you, it was really looking like, man, that guy's gonna be, But it did happen to me once in the summertime. There were 2 guys. We got to be careful. Montreal is a pretty safe city in general. Ever had a rant or something happen when you got home from the bar at 2, 3 a.m.?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not that I can think of.
I had once, and that was maybe 15 years ago. I was coming home from a bar downtown Montreal. And 2 guys on the sidewalk. And one, as they're getting closer, I do watch because I'm like, looks, I'm the kind of guy that looks at the people that come in front of me because I analyze who they could be from the looks and from the way that things are happening. And as they got really close, I heard one guy say to the other, him. And the other said, no, it's too big. Meaning, let's not take a chance. Maybe he's too strong. Let's, So, and I was like, really, if there was some skinny guy on the sidewalk, would they have beat him up or something? It really felt bizarre. It was like one of those bizarre moments, but one of the rare moments that ever happened something to me like that. Man, I when I was younger, I went downtown so many times and came home really late and never.
No.
One of the funny facts is that last year, at the end of the year, on the radio channel, we were talking about how many murders in Montreal, and I said, I think it was You know, what last year we had like, 38 murders or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's this guy that lived in Chicago and said, well, that's 38 murders. Here we have 38 murders a day. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's like
well, last year
very different.
Chicago had like 700 murders last year.
Yeah, it's like completely crazy. And that's where you see that Montreal is finally very, very safe place. So if you guys are looking for a safe place to be, Montreal is probably one. I believe in a ranking that they did once, it was like on the top 10 of. Have you noticed when we're talking about other stuff in my life and drinking, and we have more and more people watching? Grateful Pros, is there anything I can do because my sports and news apps have stopped updating on Windows 10? Okay, I would, you know what I would do, Grateful Pearls? Install CCleaner, remove the news and the sports app using CCleaner because I believe you cannot remove them with doing that. And basically, once that is done, use the Windows Store and re-download the apps from the Windows Store. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to fix your problem. So just, if you haven't got that app, CCleaner, and there's an uninstall option in CCleaner to uninstall programs. It also uninstalls apps, and you can remove the sports and news apps and then just reinstall them from the store. I'm pretty sure they're going to update again. Pretty sure. So pretty cool. No problem, Mr. Gilles. You look great. Thank you, Miss Lady Catherine. So also, one thing, while you have something to add, because now I have the impression I'm talking alone.
No, I'm looking maybe some news, something, but there's nothing interesting that came out during the afternoon. Seriously.
One thing that I saw today that's kind of interesting. Did you know that a Israeli company has made a malware that only installs on your PC? So, for example, this PC doesn't, but that one does. It has a little LED light, an LED, that shows disk activity. So you see it blinking from time to time.
Yeah.
The malware transforms that LED into sending all the passwords and the stuff that you do on your computer.
Oh.
So at a distance, all they do is have a device that looks at that LED, and they know all that you're doing on your computer.
Oh my God!
Just with that little light.
That's scary.
That's kind of amazing.
That's scary.
Lord, I will try it, Joe, but I will probably erase everything on my laptop. No, you won't, Grateful Pearls. No. It's super easy with CCleaner. You just go to the sports and the news app, and you'll just remove it, and that's it. So, and that's going to fix it. So, nothing more to add for myself. So, if nobody has anything else to add, I think we'll slowly wrap it up. Incredible how time flies. Already 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's kind of man. That's off topic, but the Insider Preview Dual Boot was a nightmare. Wouldn't go from release version Windows 10 to Insider 4 days. Got Insider ISO and one install on GPT partition. Working on that now. Yeah, I don't know. I use the Insider previews, like I said on Tuesday. The Insider previews. The only times that I actually did a dual boot was with Windows 8 and the Insider preview of Windows 8, but never did it with Windows 10. So yeah, I know there are some apps that you can uninstall, but I don't remember which one. And on the anniversary update, there are apps that you couldn't uninstall before that you can now. Just try the first thing you could try. Grateful Pearls, is right-click on the tile of your app and look at is there an uninstall button?
Well, I believe the sports and
And
news, I could remove them, I believe.
right-click on it. Do you have
No, because they are removed.
Oh, you removed them
Yeah.
from there or uninstalled
I
them?
believe it was completely uninstalled. Let me check. If I go in the S for sports, yes, sports is uninstalled.
Okay, if you go in N.
News is uninstalled too.
Okay, so maybe you just right-click on the tile and click the uninstall button.
Yeah.
I keep the news app because the news app is actually beautiful.
Yeah.
The news app has some of the most beautiful pictures that I've seen in pretty much every news app, for sure. So try it out. Right-click and uninstall from there. Then go to the Windows Store and just type sports and news, and you'll see. And make sure that it's the Microsoft apps when you do that, and they're gonna reinstall. And I think from there they're gonna work again. So hello there, Cardo Risto Einakrum. Well, that's sorry if we messed up the name here.
And Farney Jr.
I almost said Eineken because
Yeah,
it's like for a moment it looked okay.
Farney Jr.
So thank you for subscribing. Pretty cool to have you here, and
you guys are arriving at the end of the show, sadly.
Yeah.
But you can rewatch it anytime.
What else do we have? Usual is my lifestyles that are a problem. They don't update. I've been seeing the same picture for months now.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
Oh, it's the tile. It's just the live tile updating that's not working, or the full app that's not working. That's different.
If it's the tile, I've got the same problem.
The night is young. Yes, Tim. The night is young, and I don't mind ranting a little bit more, but just quickly, if we look here, anything else? So, why not talk a little bit about? So you've been using your Surface Pro 4 for how long now?
When did I get it? Well, almost 3 months now. 2 months and a half. Surface Pro 4 that I bought from the Microsoft Store with this amazing keyboard that Grapple Pearls likes a lot.
And do you do you still love it? Is there things that you found that maybe you don't like or you like less, or is it?
So far, I like everything about it compared to the previous Surface, the Surface Pro 1 that I had.
Okay.
It just does everything I want, so already it's a good thing. And you
did a little gaming on it.
Yeah, I do play video games, and graphics can be pretty impressive. I never had any lag or anything. I can play full screen, no problem, and I can even plug it on my TV. So if I don't want to play on the small screen, I can just play on my big.
Oh yeah, I believe I saw a picture of your.
Oh yeah, of course.
3,000 cables going to the TV.
There is when I play to my TV, there is of course the power connector because it drains the battery life really quickly. So I put it in the power outlet. Of course, the cable that goes to the TV, the earphones, and cable that is attached to my controller. So cable in actually every possible port on the tablet whenever I want to play video games on the TV.
One of the things, first there's a question, Tim Robinson, that's the 256 gigabyte, right?
Yes.
SSD drive. It's an SSD drive,
yes.
256. You wanted to buy the 512, but I kind of analyzed his usage and said, okay, the other one had 64?
What 64?
The Pro 1.
I had 32.
32. Oh wow, that's even worse.
32. No, 64.
Okay, 64.
But it was 30 when you remove the software.
Okay, so he showed me how he could still manage with such a small space. So I basically told him, look, it was a lot more. The 512 was
the difference of price between 256 gigabyte and 512 was $500.
$500 just to double the space. And I told him, look, you are being able to go on with just such a small space right now. So I kind of told him, look, $500 just for a double in size. I think 256 will be more than enough. And
It is
It's
enough.
probably still
Right now, I still have
you know.
this PC, 157 left.
So I think I think that's the good. What are you doing? The YouTube Joshua Tree Tour
Well, I'm looking
2017.
if Montreal was added.
Uh,
I know they're discussing.
are they gonna like play the album, the complete album?
Probably
That could be interesting to see.
half of the show complete album and the other half what we want
I'm
to
not
hear.
sure yet, but if YouTube comes to Montreal, let me know, and I'll let you know if I do or not go. I think that could be cool. So, yeah, an SSD does make a machine so much faster. That's for sure.
Yep.
And by the way, there was a funny picture on Twitter. Dano Sarkar not, releasing any insider previews, and she always has that picture of a ninja cat. And somebody tweeted to her a picture of a doorstep. The door is open, and you see a yard full of ninja cats. And the tweet said, better hurry with those insider previews. The ninja cats have arrived. I thought it was funny. So it's just the live tiles. The app itself updates fine. All current news. Well, I would guess that if you reinstall them, the live tiles are going to come back to normal.
That I don't know. With my previous Surface, I had the same thing with the photo app.
Yeah, I did see.
I removed the tile and put it back, and it was still the old stuff. And even it was pictures that I even deleted completely from the computers, still showing.
Okay.
It was not even there.
Okay. I believe I had a problem with my news app, and I had done that. I just removed and reinstalled. Yeah, lots of apps and things that replace him with pussycats. So instead of seeing you know who, you see cats in your news. Yeah, double size, $500 for a double SSD. That's way too much. That's way too much.
That was a lot of money, of course.
And it 200. You gotta face one thing. When you are more than 200 gigabytes on a hard drive, unless you're a really heavy user, I gotta say one thing. That starts to get a hell of a lot of space. I got a 1 terabyte drive on my laptop here. And I gotta say, I don't think I've ever crossed 40%, and I'm, that's because I dump everything in there, and at some point I had like tons of videos. A lot of the videos that I post are sometimes 1 gigabytes in length.
Okay.
But after a while you're like, okay, why do I keep these videos? If tomorrow YouTube removes all my videos, the hell with it. I'm not gonna reload all the videos online. I'm just gonna the hell with it. I'm gonna say the hell with it. It's sad because there's years and years of work in there. But yep. What else do we have? I have a problem with my SSD. I have 120 gigabyte SSD, but it shows that I only have 97 gigabyte overall and 60 gigabytes of free when I install everything. Do you have any ideas why this is happening? Make sure, first of all, that there are no hidden partitions if it's if your computer or tablet or I don't know what you're using, laptop, is a brand, you sometimes have a hidden partition. So your 120 gigabyte might show up as 100, for example, because they have a hidden partition with the reinstall stuff from the company. Another thing, I don't know how long you've been having that SSD, but SSDs have a read-write limit. Typically, it's an average of 1 million writes per sector after it wears out. And what's going to happen is that your drive doesn't go bad. It just shows less and less space as you use it with time. But I gotta say, I've never seen somebody use it enough to really have the SSD start showing that there's less space on it.
With 256 gigabyte, this could last me a lifetime.
And the other thing is the average is 1 million writes a million writes in a sector. think about it. 1 million rights in one sector. That's a lot of rights.
Yeah.
A lot of rights. So, I don't know. Kind of weird. Maybe you should reinstall, and what I would do personally is I would reinstall Windows and use the clean install, where you can actually remove the partitions of all the partitions of your hard drive and recreate the main partition, format it. You might actually get back that space that you have. And remember that 120 gigabyte SSD never shows up as 120. It shows up less because of the way that you do the calculations of how it works.
Yeah, like mine is 256 and it shows at 237. So.
Gribble Pearls. Hey, Josh K, nice to have you here. Gribble Pearls, I have my fingerprint reader working on the S7. And yes, that's what they're talking about to turn on the laptop. So for example, Gribble Pearls, you have a S7 Edge, I believe. What's going to happen in Creators Update? You'll be able to unlock your Windows 10 computer with the touch on your Samsung phone. That's going to be real cool. And of course, I'll be posting a video about it. So don't worry. You'll know how to activate it, how it works. Everything is going to be there. It's coming to Creators Update. That's going to be fun. I think that's a good idea, by the way. Somebody asked me, by the way, why can't they do it with an iPhone? I believe it's because in the way that Android and iOS work, iOS is a much more closed system, so they can do what they want. In Android, they do a lot more, so they're able probably to activate this functionality. I'm wondering if it doesn't work with Cortana. And I had one thing that I actually found really cool this week. I was using my phone, of course, playing Pokemon Go, and my phone told me, "Oh, you got 15% battery left."
Okay.
I got home, I turned on my PC, and I had a little pop-up on the right side that says, "Oh, by the way, your Galaxy S7 phone has only 15% battery left."
Oh.
And I said, "What? How the hell you know that?" But of course, I've got Cortana installed in my Galaxy, so I believe Cortana does the syncing of that information.
On the same when you're same Wi-Fi.
Not even. No? It's Cortana, so it's linked to your Microsoft account.
Okay.
So even if you're not on the same Wi-Fi, it's because I almost never connect my phone to my Wi-Fi. I'm always on the LTE.
Okay.
One last bit of news maybe this week is the famous LTE.
In Australia?
5 that will be gigabit speed.
Oh my god.
And by the way, the rumors of the Galaxy S8 are that it will have a chip with gigabit speed also.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool.
I heard that too, I think.
So I will tell you all of that, Gribble Pearls. When Creators Update's there, you'll have the videos on how to do it. So it's gonna work. I can tell you that, and it's gonna be fun. And what else do we have here? So, anyways, I think we're pretty much done for today.
Mm-hmm.
Was another a really cool show.
From the couch, live.
From the couch. And now we're gonna eat. What are we gonna eat? You brought some
pasta alla Gigi.
Pasta alla Gigi. We're gonna eat that, and we always have our little food. After the show, it's like we have our little something. One time it's M that does something, and sometimes it's me, and it's fun. It's kind of fun. And Grapple Pearls. That's kind of cool, though. It's your Windows computer telling you, "Oh, you got just this battery life left." I find that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey everyone.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Gabriel.
It's been a pleasure.
And
as usual.
We'll be here next week, of course. So, just quick reminders of what's coming up in the shows. No radio shows this weekend. This is the weekend off. So tomorrow I'm going to take it easy. Probably install the latest build of Windows 10 because it might be released. and Saturday, no radio shows either. It's really the week that I take it easy. Next shows coming up next week. So we have next week. Incredible. We're in March next week. We're already getting in March. So next week, on Tuesday, the 28th, we have the live tech show where I answer your questions live, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2000 hours UTC. 6 p.m., 2300 hours UTC, Windows Insider Hour. Hopefully we'll talk about a new build. And then we'll go into, of course, the From the Couch show. We'll be at number 8 already.
Yep, 2 months.
Number 8 next week, which is Thursdays. Of course, this show is every Thursdays. 4 p.m. Eastern, 2100 hours UTC. And what are y'all going to eat again? What is that? Pasta alla Gigi. Gigi is a kind of a
It's a
rosé sauce. It's
with
a
ham, mushroom, and onions.
yeah. And what I was saying. Okay, so next week, of course, we are here all the time. And next week we'll have the radio shows. Listening to the shortwave bands on Friday, March. Next week will be March 2nd on our show already.
Already, yeah.
And Friday, March the 3rd, I have a radio show where I tune the shortwave bands. 2000 hours UTC, 3 p.m. Eastern. And finally, Saturday, the 4th of March, a shortwave show, special pirate shortwave show. And don't ask me how I know this, but it seems that some pirate stations are going to relay my audio on shortwave. So, that's... I don't know why I know this. So, hey, take care, everyone.
Thank you for watching.
Always fun to have all of you here. Pretty cool. And by the way, just to say, in 3 weeks' time, I will be interviewed on an FM station in Montreal.
Nice.
So,
oh, and don't forget to subscribe to my own channel, the Proud
yeah,
Geek
the
channel.
Proud Geek. We didn't talk about the Proud Geek.
That's all right.
We didn't talk about the Proud Geek. That's important.
So a geek channel, gaming and everything except for technology. So subscribe to it. It's really cool. And I like doing this. I like being here every week too.
It is cool. It is cool. I was telling him yesterday, and I was always telling him, doing this live show together kind of put me back into the mood of doing live shows. I was losing the interest. So it's going to be... Yeah, the interview on the radio station will be online. It's on a station called CKUT on FM, and they have the recorded show, the podcast, and I'll be interviewed on a show called the International Radio Report that talks about radio, because the guy that does that show, which is the head of the Canadian International DS Club in Canada, participated in my live show for radio last week and found that it was just so cool, and that I had to talk about it on the station because he thought it was a great idea to bring radio guys together through new media like the internet and YouTube. Take care, everyone. We love you. Huh?
Yep.
We love you.
Bye. It's been really nice. Take care.
See you soon, and have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe. Stay safe.